University. For those in the room, when asking a question, please remember to identify yourself with your name and media affiliation. For those joining us on Zoom, please remain on mute and type your questions into the chat. We're now joined by Southern Miss, led by head coach Scott Berry. Coach, would you please begin with an opening statement and then introduce your two players?
Yes. Just extremely proud of our team, how they were able to come out after a long day yesterday against a really hot and well-playing team in Lafayette. They had the same scenario as us yesterday. They had to come back and win their game 2 to get to today. So I know yesterday was a long day for them as well. And both teams were tired, but our team just seemed to have a little bit more of that punch in them. And certainly these two guys on each side of me played a big part of that. On my left is our third baseman, Danny Lynch, and on my right is our relief pitcher and winning pitcher today, Justin Storm.
Coach, first season in the Sun Belt Conference, you won the Sun Belt Conference Championship. How cool was that for you guys?
Well, it's really, it's outstanding. But that's what we like the expectation to be at Southern Miss baseball. That's the way it's been for a while. Told these guys, especially the new guys, the ones that have been here and have shared championships with us, they know the expectations that are placed upon us, and we want those expectations. But I wanted the new guys to understand that this is not just something that just happened. This happens for a reason. The hard work that we put in, the commitment that our guys that they do in their work, in the weight room, our coaches, everybody that invests in our program invest in this opportunity that we made for ourselves to cash in and win another championship. So in the first year, we were picked to win the league. We finished second, one game behind Coastal Carolina, but certainly we made up for that in this tournament, being able to win the conference tournament in our first year in the Sun Belt.
Coach, Hunter Dawkins, Gazebo Gazette, Super Talk Media. Talk to me about your faith and the faith the coaching staff had with Justin in after the third inning.
Well, this mirrored the moment that he had last year with LSU in the regional. We had it stacked up. Nico would go as long as he could. Then we would go to Justin and let him go as far as he could. I was in my own mind. I had the feeling of that moment against LSU that he gave us last year. I know he has that type of stuff. I know he has that makeup and that mentality to go out there and pound the zone and make hitters beat him. And certainly that's exactly what he did today. So I think that Oz would echo what I said on that as well. But we would ride Justin as far as we could, and then we would go to the pen. Obviously we had Billy Odom down there that wanted the ball as well, and then Tanner, if need be, we were going to use him to close. This was going to be kind of his bullpen day anyway, but it would be no more than one inning. But Storm, he didn't want to come out after the 8th inning. He wanted it, and he showed us why he did. He went ahead and closed the book.
Danny, social media seems to point out that through the years you've had UL's number in big moments, and you hit a home run today against them. Is there some sort of secret to that, or?
I don't think so. I just kind of got into a good count. I got into 2 hitters count, and we've been popping up a little bit, so I wanted to kind of get to the top of it, and I didn't really get all that much to the top of it, but I was able to kind of get the head out on it and hit it good.
Coach, I don't know if you really want much of the attention with this being your last year and everything, but what does it mean to you to know that the guys to your left and right and everybody in that clubhouse wants to do it for you and go out the way you guys are, so far so good winning this tournament?
Well, if that was the case, obviously I'm flattered, but I don't want it for me. I want it for them. They're the ones that work so hard, that come out and have to juggle their academics with athletics. That's a full-time job with that. It means more than anything to me that these seniors get to go out with that taste in their mouth and lay their mark and notch their belt in the long history of Southern Miss baseball. A new billboard will be made next year. Numbers will change, and that's what it's all about. It costs a little money to do that, but it's well worth it. That's the investment in being able to do it. So very proud of our seniors and all those that may not be here next year. There may be situations, even with this young man, where he has an opportunity, if he's drafted, to move on, and so be. But if it is, then this is the mark that he left, and that we'll always be grateful for. If not, then he'll come back and he'll make sure that this program and team next year does it again.
Danny and Justin, I know team captains, as team captains, what is it like, I guess flipping Jeff's question, like, what is it like to win this for Scott Berry and win this for the team?
Older captain, go ahead.
I mean, it's awesome. Obviously, Coach Berry, I feel like I say it every time I ask this question, he's impacted our lives so much, and, you know, the impact doesn't really stop here. It's going to help me, you know, for the rest of my life. I'm sure it's going to help Storm for the rest of his life. We owe the people we are today so much to him, so, you know, it feels like this is kind of just a small repayment of that, if you will, because he's done so much for us.
You know, this is for Justin and Danny. You know, last out of the ball game, you guys are hopping the railing. Just what was that whole moment like for you guys?
Yeah, your guy.
Just super cool. I mean, I've said it earlier today that all these guys, and you're together almost every single day for a lot of hours of the day. So you quickly become best friends early in the fall. And throughout the season, you get closer and closer, and every single one of these guys is like a brother to me. And you know, just dogpiling with your brothers is just, there's no better feeling, especially after we know how hard we worked to get here, and the sacrifices we made. It feels like it's worth it, you know. And when you're at the bottom of the pile, it's super cool, and can't really describe it any other way.
For whoever wants this one, can you guys talk about the job not being done, however the regional shake out here in a little while?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're, you know, winning the Sun Belt Championship's awesome. That's what we set out to do every year. That's kind of our first goal is the regular season title. Our second goal is the tournament title. And now we're looking forward to the regional. Our next goal is to win the regional, then the Super Regional, and the College World Series. We're not, you know, this is awesome. This is great. We'll celebrate it. And when tomorrow starts, we're ready for the regional. We're looking forward to that.
Scott, what's your just gut feeling right now? Do you think this program deserves the right to host? I mean, I know you loaned 3 hours. But
Yeah, you know, I think this program is, you know, I don't follow a whole lot of the stuff. I don't follow RPI, I don't follow rankings. Of course, on Mondays on radio shows that I have to do, they make me aware of what those are. But, you know, we're 40 wins, we're 41 wins now. We're the seventh consecutive year that we've done that. Nobody is, you know, we're by ourselves in that. This team has won a Sun Belt Conference Championship. I think we're the 5th ranked RPI league. We finished second, 1 game behind Coastal. You know, I think, you know, I know when I scheduled this schedule, when I made this schedule, I made it hard for a reason. I made it hard in hopes that the strength of schedule numbers would be there that would support what this, what our resume would look like in front of that committee. So, you know, if I'm on that committee, I'm giving Southern Miss a host. You know, I really say that. And if I didn't believe that, I would say no, that we would, you know, deserve it. But I think that we do. You know, with Mississippi State and Ole Miss not handling a regional this year. You know, Mississippi is the #1 attended state in the country. You know that, and I think that it's deserving not only for us but our state that we should have a regional.
Coach, I think it's 19 out of 21 now. In your estimation, what's kind of the secret sauce in this team right now?
These guys right here, the inside. You know, we got gut punched. We talked about it several times. We got gut punched over at Coastal Carolina in the first 2 games, and you know, we had a choice: get up, do something about it, or just lay there and keep getting gut punched. And you know, I feel like it was the inside guys that took a hold of that. You know, kind of gave them a little bit of a direction, and they took it and ran with it, and they haven't looked back. You know, in those 19 wins of those 21 games, there's been some that we've, you know, have been right there not to win, but we were able to do it. The one that I remember most was at Tulane. You know, we're down 2 runs there going into the top of the 9th at Tulane, and we end up, I think, winning by 1, or we hit
2-run home run.
You know, Slade, or was it Slade? You know,
Sergeant Slade both hit homers.
yeah.
2 runs.
So you had 3 runs right there that took us, you know, to a great win. But that was part of. I feel like that was part of the making of what we have seen and has carried on. There's a feeling that we can't get beat, and that's for good reason. You know, you've got inside leadership. You've got players that are stepping up in big moments like we've seen. today and days before this. So, just grateful for that. That's what I contributed to.
Anything else? Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank
And
you all.
thank you all for coming, all of you.
I do want to
guys.
say thank you to Sunbelt Conference and running a first-class tournament. Our first experience here, Montgomery was awesome, and everything about it. So on behalf of all of us at Southern Miss, we appreciate the hospitality and everything that the Sunbelt showed this week. They showed why it's a really good conference.
Okay, thank you all. Again, thanks everybody for coming.